Yep, it is that time again. Hello everybody, vidium here, and it is that time again to take you into my old video game systems. And I want to take the opportunity right now to go on with my next system, and in this way I'm gonna close that old part of gaming history that ended with the 16-bit era. And as you know, the 16-bit era is where the video game wars actually started, and it was that war between the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo, which happens to be my next system, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And I really have to tell you that I love this game. I love this system very much, and it brings a lot of memories to me. It actually does. Uh, the way that I actually got my Super Nintendo is that I didn't have any money to actually get it, and as you all remember how I got my Sega Genesis. So I said I have to get money, and I started working. So I got myself a paper route, and I started to wake up very early in the morning to deliver the newspapers, and in that way to be able to get money to actually be able to buy the system. Then I was able to go to Woodworth, the same place where I actually bought my NES, and I put the Super Nintendo on layaway. It was there for a few weeks, and one day I received a call from the store telling me that the next Sunday they were having a special sale, and they were actually giving me the opportunity, if I took the system out of the layaway, they can actually give me the discount that they were giving to all items in the store. So I went to my mom and I told her I received a call from Woolworth, and they told me if I take the system on Sunday, I'm gonna be able to take it cheaper because they're going to give me the discounts. I do not remember how much was it. The thing is that I went out with my best friend to collect the money that some people didn't pay for the paper, and there was a lot of money in the streets. So I went out with him, and we were able to collect that money, and I was able to get the money that I needed, and my mom gave me some part of the money as well to be able to take the Super Nintendo out. The thing is that I wake up on Sunday morning, get dressed really quickly, take the bus, and went to the mall. The only problem is that I forgot that on Puerto Rico, the stores on Sunday didn't open until 11 o'clock, and I was already there at 9. So I have to wait out. I stayed on the outside the mall until 10:30 when they opened the doors, and I ran all the way to the store. So I have to wait 30 minutes more for the store to open. When they actually opened the door, I went directly to the layaway department. I was the first one to actually get there, and I paid the money, got the discount, went home, opened the system, started playing. The thing is, as you know, I have it right over here. The game comes with Super Mario World. Now, I've played this game so many times over because I was the last one to actually have a Super Nintendo in my neighborhood. I was one of the first one to have a Genesis, but I was one of the last ones to have a Super Nintendo. So I have played the Super Nintendo many times over. I played this game a lot. So I wasn't really excited to play this game again. I really wanted to play something different. So I went to the video store the day after, and I rented the last game they had available, and it was Joe and Mac. And since I played Caveman Ninja the arcades, I love Joe and Mac very much. So I rented the game, and that was the first game that I actually played for my Super Nintendo. The first game that I rented it. Now, some of my favorite video games for the Super Nintendo are Street Fighter 2, with Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Super Street Fighter 2, which I do own. Super Punch Out, you cannot go wrong with this one. I also like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, loved it. Play many times over with my brother. Tiny Toons Adventures, love the game. Buster Buzz Loose. Contra 3, Alien Wars, very hard game. And Castlevania 4, love this game. I can actually finish this game with just one life. Now, I also own Japanese Super Famicom games, and I'd showed before that I have this game, which is Rockman and Ford, or Mega Man and Bass, and it's a Japanese game that wasn't available in American system until it came out for the Game Boy Advance. Now, I do not own Super Famicom. All I have is my original Super Nintendo. So I have a friend that bought a converter to be able to play those games on its Super Nintendo. But I actually find out that you don't have to buy those converter, because you can actually mod your Super Nintendo quite easily. All you have to do is take out two plastic tabs that he has on each side, and that's it. And that is because the Super Nintendo games have this openings right over here that allows them to go all the way down. The Japanese games does not. So once you take out all those two tabs, the game sits firmly. See? And that is how I'm able to play Super Famicom games on my Super Nintendo. I believe that this is the cheapest system mod that I know, because it doesn't cost anything. Now, I have to say that many of the games that the Super Nintendo has a lot of kids games, but it also have a lot of games for teenagers and adults, the adults that we are right now. And I actually spent a lot of time playing on this system, but I have to say that games that were available for the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, I have more fun playing it on the Genesis. I don't know why. But I have to say that many people say that the Super Nintendo won the 16-bit war, and I have to say that it was almost a tie. It was almost a tie. I have more fun with the Genesis. I like the Genesis more, but it was almost a tie because both systems are awesome. They are completely awesome. In respective ways, most of the dark games that actually look better on the Super Nintendo than the Genesis, but there are also games that actually look better on the Genesis than the Super Nintendo. So it's a win-win factor for both of them. And if you actually own both systems, you have the best of two worlds. So I just wanted to give you the last game system that I have for this year, video that I have for this year, and it was my Super Nintendo. So stay tuned for next year, which I'm going to continue talking of all the game systems that I own, because I have a few more, and I have different stories for each one of them. So until next time, see ya.